Our Karma Holds Us Back by Multigen Mindset Institute. I wanted to talk with you about karma and moving forward in life and being held back in life. And I want to talk to you about seasons because all of us are working to become better at something, to earn more money, to be happier, to be more fit or healthy, to be in a relationship, to get out of a relationship, where all of us are in a transition. And situations sometimes persist. And it's when you find yourself in a persisting uncomfortableness that you start asking the foundational questions of why is this happening? Why is this happening to me? Why can't I change this? What is going on? Who's to blame? At some point, when you get to the edge of yourself, you begin asking questions, right? And here's why I think it's important that we experience turmoil and trouble within this life, because a child only stops and asks his parents for help when he can't figure it out on his own. And the only time throughout this life that you actually have any kind of a need to seek out to a God or seek out to God or seek out to your higher self or something outside of yourself is when you're without your means. It's when you are facing something and you're going through something that seems to be beyond you. And that's when we struggle. That's when we break down. That's when we lose our faith. That's when we're squeezed. And when you squeeze something, what's inside of it comes out. So every life lesson is an invitation to show us where we're falling short, where we can grow, where we are missing the mark, where we aren't living up to our legacy. And invitations can be seen as punishment when the understanding is not there. I remember when I was a boy and before my father would give me licks when we did something wrong, my father would look at me and say, "Son, I love you. And I'm not doing this because I don't love you. I love you, and that's why I'm doing this." My father would always tell me, "I love you," before he gave me my licks. And the universe does the same thing. As a loving father punishes his child. Except the word punishment is out of context, because a father may yet indeed punish his child. But in reality, what he's attempting to do is correct that child. That is the purpose of punishment. So whether you interpret the circumstances in which you find yourself right now as punishment or redirection or guidance determines whether you have the key to unlock that circumstance. Because every circumstance is like a Chinese lock that you have to figure out how to unlock it. And you're looking for the keys of the universe. And a lot of it starts with responsibility. It starts with getting into ethics. It starts with asking where you're wrong. It starts with asking where you've fallen short. It starts with asking where you've given your power away. And it's when we find ourselves without our power that we begin to struggle and seek for help outside of ourselves. And that's where God needs us to be, so that we will seek his guidance, so that we will seek the guidance of our higher self, so that we will slow down and stop and start asking the questions. Resistance is here to slow you down to ask the right questions, because if the universe just let you go forward and make your mistake without stopping you, without warning you, wouldn't you be upset about that? It's interesting, we get upset when the universe slows us down and stops us, but we also get upset when the universe lets us continue forward without warning us. So we like to blame the universe. We like to blame God. We like to blame some source outside of ourselves. Well, you didn't warn me. My intuition should have told me. I should have known. How often do we beat ourselves up? I should have known. I should have known. I should have known to fire that person, right? There are things that we do where our intuition warns us and we didn't listen, or we aren't tuned in to our intuition enough to hear the warning, or we're simply not stopping to ask. And that's when resistance comes to help you. And yes, it can feel painful, it can feel hard, it can feel It can feel tough when the universe says no. It can feel tough when something in the universe continues to resist you attempting to put your preferences on it. And it's when we start asking those questions that we start searching for the reasons. And that's when we start searching for the keys. Where have we skipped a universal law? Where have we let somebody down? And we start asking these questions to determine where we've gone wrong so that we can get our power back to maneuver and change that situation. It seems like a lot of the biggest problems that you find in prayer and people seeking for help from a higher source is unanswered prayer. Of people feeling abandoned, of people feeling like God may love us, but he's not a good parent, right? He is there to help comfort us, but at the same time, it's almost like he doesn't care about how much we suffer. And that's when we can blame, right? Because parents wouldn't let their children go through half the things that it seems God lets us go through. But then it's only a blame of a higher source until we look for the right source and we stop picking the wrong target. When we are responsible and we are sovereign, and because of our spiritual identities, we're sovereign over what takes place in our lives, but yet we choose the wrong target and make calls outside of ourselves, and we give our power away. And that's when you work towards a situation and you pray, I want this and I want that, and it doesn't come and it resists you, and it doesn't come and it resists you. And you begin doubting your ability. You begin doubting your ability to be calls and to cause things to come into being, to cause things to happen for you. You begin to lose your faith in yourself because of wrong target. And you can get to a place of apathy, which is, I don't care, I don't want it anyways. Apathy is, I give up. Apathy is, I surrender. And there is a certain point in the game, in the dance of you moving forward and the universe resisting you, and you moving forward and the universe resisting you, till you get to the end of yourself and you say, I quit, I give up. And maybe apathy is kind of a good place to go to get at when you need to surrender. When there's something you won't surrender and you need to surrender it because you're holding it from God and it's something that's holding you back. And until you get to a place that's at the end of yourself and you're in complete apathy and you're like, dude, this won't change. And that's when you start asking the right questions. And all of this is just guidance and teaching in a loving universe surrounding you with what you need to grow. And we see it as punishment. We see it as being held back, when it's really you're being held back to be prepared so that you can be successful in the thing in which you ask. So there's an algorithm that happens regarding the growth that you need and the things in which you ask for. Because you can't have who you're not. You can't be who you're not. So if you have a vision for yourself, something you're growing into, somebody you're growing into, somebody you're becoming, you have to go through the preparatory stages to become that person through circumstance after circumstance after circumstance, and prove not only to yourself, but through responsibility and action that you can handle that in which you ask. Because why would the universe give you something that would destroy you or allow you to hurt somebody else? And that's where the growth that we invite upon ourselves becomes to look like punishment and to feel like punishment, because we're saying, I want to be this great person. I want to be amazing. I want to be wealthy. I want to be a good husband. I want to be a good father. I want to impact society. I want to be a good person. I want to have a great family. I want to be healthy and fit. And you're making all these declarations and self-agreements with yourself about who you are and who you're becoming. And at the same time that you're declaring those things, every time you declare something about who you're going to be, the universe sends equal pressure, equal resistance of what it is that you ask. And there's balance in that. So if you say, I want to be great, then the universe will say, here is a great resistance, because when you overcome, it's in overcoming the resistance that you become great. So there's an equal. You say, I want this, the universe says, here's a matching resistance. I want to build a spaceship that can go to the moon, and the universe says, here's equal resistance. It's called gravity. You say, I want to become a millionaire. The universe says, here's this resistance, which is going to cause you to become the kind of person through the resistance, through the struggle, through the pain, and through the hurt, and through the loss. Here you become. So don't look at the resistance that you're feeling now as holding you back. Embrace it. Embrace the thing that eludes you. Embrace the thing that comes up against you, because it's what makes you strong. It's full responsibility. And full responsibility causes you to become cause, to become power, to get your power, to claim your power, to start declaring through your divine sovereign authority what you want in your life and what you want out of your life, and cause things to come into being in the way that you imagine them. That's your identity, and that's who you are. If you found this talk helpful, please share it with a friend, and like and subscribe for more videos and updates on how to work through the universal laws, become the best version of yourself. Multi-Gen Mindset Institute.